Hello students, welcome once again in my class. Today we'll be doing William Blake's poem The Tiger. Before I start the poem, I would like to give you a brief introduction of William Blake. William Blake was born in London in 1757 and he expired in 1827. He was a poet and engraver and he's seen as a leading light of the early romantic movement in England. He was a supporter of the ideals of French Revolution, men who challenged the accepted views on religion and on human condition. Though he was a staunch Christian, but he actually was against the church because there was too much of corruption in the church. And he was a revolutionary of his times. He had very radical ideas. Like we read in the poem London, he had a very radical view of London and the condition of common people over there. And then he was a very inquisitive person and he's very intrigued by the nature, or you can say by the experiences. So he was the one who tried to seek answers. He sought the answers. Now, in this poem, Tyger, he is actually mesmerized by the creature and he just wants to know who has created it. He is as much intrigued by the creation as the creator. So I'll read the poem and then I'll give you a brief introduction of this poem. Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forests of the night, what immortal hand or eye could frame thy fearful symmetry? In what distant deeps or skies burned the fire of thine eyes? On what wings dare we aspire? What the hand dare seize the fire? And what shoulder and what art could twist the sinews of thy heart? And when thy heart began to beat, what dread hand and what dread feet? What the hammer, what the chain, in what furnace was thy brain? What the anvil, what dread grasp dare its deadly terrors clasp? When the stars threw down their spears and watered heaven with their tears, did he smile his work to see? Did he who made the lamb make thee? Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forests of the night, what immortal hand or eye dare frame thy fearful symmetry? If we look at this poem has 6 stanzas of 4 lines each. That is, it is a quatrain. Quatrain is a stanza of 4 lines. And then if you see there is no narrative movement in the poem, there are a number of questions, multiple questions. And each stanza raises a different question about the tiger. He says, tiger, tiger, burning bright, in the forest of the night, what immortal hand or eye could frame thy fearful symmetry? So in the first stanza, it raises the central question of the poem, that who could have made you? Who could have made the tiger? Then the second stanza, in what distant deeps of sky burned the fires of thine eyes? On what wings dare we aspire? And what the hand dare seize the fire? That is, in the second stanza, the question is raised, where were you created? What was the place, whether it was skies or heavens? Now in the third stanza, he says, how did your creator form you? How was he created? And what shoulder and what art could twist the sinews of thy heart? And when thy heart began to beat, what dread hand and what dread feet? So that is, how was he created? How did the creator form the tiger? In the fourth stanza, he says, what the hammer, what the chain? In what furnace was thy brain? what the animal, what dread grasp, dead's deadly terror's clasp. That is, what tools were used to form you? It is like manufacturing a tiger. It's like what tools were used to create you? What were the tools used by the creator in forming you? In stanza 5, he says, how did the creator react to his creation? And who exactly this creator is? He says, and when the stars threw down their spears and watered heaven with their tears, did he smile his work to see? Did he smile? That is, whoever has created this tiger, was he happy to create him? Did he smile to see his work? Or did he who made the lamb made thee? Now, lamb is actually, if we see that this poem has been taken from the Songs of Experience, and before this, it was published in 1794. But before the publication of Songs of Experience, Blake had published Songs of Innocence. In Songs of Innocence, we have the poem on lamb. So he's saying, was he who made the lamb make thee? Is it the same creator who made a very meek, humble lamb? Was he the same creator who created you? That is, these are two drastic creatures which are created by the creator. So he is actually very intrigued to see, बहुत वो उलझन में है कि क्या जिसने वो भेड़ का मेमना बनाया है, क्या उसी ने इस टाइगर को बनाया है? Because tiger is very ferocious. Tiger, of course, he is very impressive, he is very beautiful, but he is fiery, he is dangerous. And whereas lamb is just the opposite. He is meek, he is beautiful, he is humble, and these are two contrast creatures. So in the last stanza, he restates the original question with who could create the tiger to dare create the tiger. That the first stanza and the last stanza, they are same except for one word. He says, tiger, tiger, burning bright, in the forest of the night, what immortal hand or eye dare frame thy fearful symmetry? Here you have dare, dare. And the opening stanza we have, tiger, tiger, burning bright, in the forests of the night, what immortal hand or eye could frame thy fearful symmetry? Here he is just asking who could have made you. But here he is saying who had the guts of creating you? Who had the courage? किसमें इतनी हिम्मत हुई कि तुमको create कर दिया? So this poem is as much about the tiger as it is about the creator of that tiger. So we can say the tiger is not only about the tiger, animal tiger, but here he's saying it is very metaphoric actually. If we look at the journey of William Blake through the poems, like when he wrote Lamb, so it was lamb is very meek, very beautiful, and very humble. So he says that meek, like it is a kind of an experience where human beings, when they are born, they are very innocent. They are very innocent, very meek. But as they grow in age, they gain experience. And when they gain experience, they started thinking of their own and then start developing their personalities. So this poem can also be seen. Was actually Blake thinking about, metaphorically, about men, that what happened when God created men, human being, that is man, what was his reaction? And what was the reaction of the angels? He says in the fifth stanza, we have the stars threw down their spears. Stars over here, they are actually metaphorically. It says actually they think about angels. That what the angels must have thought. What was the reaction of the angels? Now here he is, in this he's saying maybe this tiger is a metaphor of human being. That human beings can be very innocent, but they can also have evil traits. So it is the juxtaposition of beauty and evil, beauty and fear. He says the fearful symmetry. Symmetry is something very symmetrical, is something very beautiful. बहुत अच्छे से बना हुआ कोई चीज़ होता है. It's aesthetically beautiful. सौंदर्य बोध होता है उसमें. But we have seen the tiger. If you say it's very fiery, very beautiful. It's sublime. If you see, you look at the image of tiger. Tiger. When we look at this image of tiger, we feel as if everything is on fire. The colors are so bright and so majestic. Like when you look at the tiger, you don't feel like cuddling the tiger. ऐसा मन नहीं करता उसको जाके दुलार करो, उसको प्यार करो. If you see the tiger, suddenly you become so scared. You become fearful of that tiger because it has a very ferocious appearance. So here he's saying that God has also created fears, a fearful creature which actually fills you with terror, and also we are impressed by the majesty. So today I've given you an introduction, a brief introduction of this poem, because it's a big, if you say, it is a big and powerful mystery. This poem is about a big and powerful mysterious creator who created the tiger. The speaker is really questioning the nerve of the creator. Nerve is himmat of the creator, the guts to create something so fearful, something so powerful, and something so mysterious. It goes beyond the comprehension to imagine who created this awe-inspiring, dreadful, fearful being. किसने इस खतरनाक व्यक्ति, इस क्रीचर को बनाया होगा, जिसमें जब हम उसे देखते हैं तो हम एकदम सकते में आ जाते हैं. There is also a religious imagery and mythical allusions, and we are left to awe at the complexity of the creation. Complexity is जटिलता. किस तरह से ये जो रचना हुई है ब्रह्मांड की, या जो creatures God ने बनाए हैं, and also by the sheer magnitude of God, the creator. So there are some things in the universe that remain unexplainable. That is, till the end, the persona, or you can say the poet or the persona, keeps questioning what happened, who created you, how were you created, what were the tools used by the creator, and what was the reaction of the creator, all these things. But ultimately, he doesn't get any perfect answer to it. So we can say that this universe is unexplainable. We do not have answers to all the questions which are raised in our minds. So this is all for this session. And in my next session, I'll be taking the full poem line by line. So till then, you study the poem. I've given you the text. Read the poem. And in my next lecture, we'll be analyzing the poem. Thank you.